Hi guys, welcome back on my YouTube channel. Today, a few words about a Pitbull. I've been training the dogs over 10 years. Most of the time they are Pitbull Terriers. I've been training the dog for a different purpose, as a family dog, as a protection dog, guard dogs, detection dog, and obedience. Today I'm gonna give you a clue about living life with a Pitbull, which is not as easy as you can see on the internet and the Instagram. Sometimes life can go in the wrong way with a Pitbull. Pros and cons having a Pitbull. So for sure the biggest pros is that this is a Pitbull. This is a great dog who loves the human, loves people, and especially the family members. He's able to do everything for the owner and for the family, and this is, in my opinion, the best pros. The second pros is that they are very energetic dog with a strong motivation for their training. And also it can be a cons if you don't know how to use this, if you don't know how to use this attitude, this energy, that can be frustrated and become as aggressive towards the environment. But I was going to say about the pros, the first. So for me this is a pros. I can use this dog for a different purpose, for the training the dog as a protection dog, as a protection dog, as for a great sharp obedience. I'm gonna put some short videos with my dog. Of course it's a Pitbull Terrier. He's 7 years old at this moment, so you can see how we do work together. Another big pros is that you don't have to really take care about the coat. They are like just quick brush every day and the coat is shining. They are very healthy breed. No many issues with skin allergy. Sorry, they are like joints, ligaments. They are very healthy and agility breed, I would say. Another big pros for me is that you can fit this dog everywhere, in every car, every place in your home. You don't need to have like a farm to keep the Pitbull. So they don't need just really much space at home. Just need a piece of the quiet space for the rest and relax. That's what I found. Another pros is they don't have limits. So if you go like as I do, like I don't know, riding on the bicycle, and he runs beside of me, he can take like a 20-25 kg and he's still fine. He's okay. At the same with the hiking, at the same with the obedience training. Sometimes he spent with me for like 5 hours on the training, obedience training with the other dog. So and he was grand. So at this point they are very energetic working breed. So let's go to some cons. The biggest cons is that they are not very welcome in many countries. So if you want to travel with Pitbull, you have to consider many countries are closed for this breed. So for instance, for me to go to Poland from Ireland, it's very hard way because we cannot cross the border with the UK, the France, and some lands in Germany. So it's not as easy as could be with a different breed. For instance, with the other dog, with a Cane Corso. Another big cons for me is, even here in Ireland, there is many restrictions. So the dog should be on the short lead with a muzzle. So that's really annoying me, and this is very hard to live a proper life with a dog. So he needs a space, he needs interaction with the other dogs. If you want to keep him mentally healthy, and physically health, so he needs to be in the free run. As I said about is the interaction training and so on, but the law doesn't give you a permission to keep your dog off the lead in the public area. So this is the biggest cause, and that's what I know. In the most of the countries in Europe, it's similar. Like in Poland is a little different. So if you register your dog as a cross, so then you don't have to follow all of these restrictions. Another big cons is that they are not really well adjusted to be a working breed, because for instance if we start to do a non-trailing training, they are very good, they have a drive, they love the hard work, but also you have to start from the poop training to teach your dog to discriminate other scents, the other animal scents, and be focused on the human scent, which is very hard. Another thing, they are perfect working breed for the people. Like they are great for the work, for the people, not with the people. That's what I found. They can be a very sharp, but also they are very independent, and then they like to explore and be far away from you. Of course, they're looking for the contact with you, but this is not like with a German Shepherd or the Rottweiler or Cane Corso. So you should consider this before you get a pup. Hiking. This is a good example. So in Ireland, the summer like 20 degrees, it can be too hot, and the winter like 77 degrees, it can be too cold for the people. I can find that when we go for a hike and we go through the river, stream, and he becomes wet. After a few good minutes, he starts to shake. When we stop for like a coffee or tea, and it's hard for him to keep the right temperature. So the cold is the cold is a kind of like a pros. You don't have to really take care about brushing him, but also it can be a cons. Also, if you consider to buy the puppy, the Pitbull, you should know that they are absolutely completely different type of the dog than, as I mentioned before, the German Shepherd, Rottweiler. Their attitude for training, for obedience is absolutely different. And if you have no experience with working with this dog, so that can be hard for you, and you can find that the training on the lead or recall is really difficult. Their attention is always somewhere else, so you need to know how to build this attitude, this focus, and the concentration on the owner. It's like not even the concentration, but this awareness that the dog understands that you have something to offer him, and spending a time with you is he can get some benefits from the leading a game, or like even like the other dog, and something what he does and come back to you. So the training with a recall, walking on the lead, it's hard. They are very energetic, as I said, and it can be a pros and cons. The training from self-control is not as easy as with a Mastiff or the Cane Corso, the Rottweiler. And this time which you have to put on the training is much bigger, so you have to spend much more time for the training. Is the self-control, and this, for instance, the stay command than with other breeds. The Pitbull as a family dog, I wouldn't say that. I know there is I think this is like a top, and everybody says that this is a perfect dog for the kids and family, because the tolerance for the pain, and I wouldn't agree. He can be a good dog for the family, but just only if he is a well socialized and a well dog. Of course, as we know, this is not just only a breed, just determine the dog for being a good dog or a bad dog. It's also the some genetic predisposition or even the brain damage. And then we say about imprinting, socializing time. So if you didn't pick up the right poop, and hasn't been socialized well, so that can be very hard to live with a pit bull when you have a small kid. And a few words about aggression. Every dog has aggression. Of course, we can talk about the different level of aggressions, and there's some kind of like a triggers. So if your dog has been socialized well with the dogs and the people, you shouldn't be worried really about his reaction. Okay, of course, if you have a situation like you go for the walk in the park and your dog is on the lead and the other crazy dog, lab, whatever, like even the Shih Tzu, approach to your dog and becomes aggressive, so for sure your dog is able to make a damage, the bigger damage for that dog. So that's the only one thing. How to pick up the poop? Definitely, I was looking for the breeders, the kennels, which are registered in ADBA, American Dog Breeds Association. Then we can have a look at the pedigree and see the whole line. Most of the time, those people, they know what to do, they know how to cross the dogs, and they have some idea about the dogs, about their another litter. So that's gonna be a big tip for you guys. And I also know if you pick up the wrong dog, the wrong pup with an anxiety, fear, and like a mentally very not submissive, because this is nothing wrong, but like constantly being afraid and anxiety, and so that's gonna be a very hard life for you guys. If you like this video, like, subscribe. You can comment this video, you can comment, you can tell me what you want to hear in the next one, and see you next time.